Hi there, this is Carrie from Stamp with CT. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you live from my craft room in Texas. So if you're catching this part of the video, you are probably watching the replay, so welcome on in, replay crew. Very glad to have you here. And then I also usually have some friends that are able to join me live. That may take just a minute. I'm going to adjust just a tiny bit. So, I'm glad to be here with you today. It is a little bit a challenge for me today, though. I'll share that with you. Last Wednesday, we had to say goodbye to Oliver the Crafty Pup. So, my craft room is just so quiet, you guys. It's been quite the adjustment. And so, I know a lot of you also knew Oliver, and we've just been really surrounded with lots of support and love, and we appreciate that so much. But I will tell you, I am so glad to have the hobby of crafting. It has really helped to occupy my mind and bring some just some distraction. So hope you'll say hi as you hop in. Like I said, glad to have you here, whether you are watching on YouTube. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you are, and then subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done that. And if you're watching on Facebook, I would love it if you would send up a reaction, a heart, a thumbs up. That really helps me in the algorithms. But I'm just glad you're here. Well, we're going to get started with our crafting today. I've got a couple projects, and they're pretty straightforward, but I still was just so happy with how they turned out. Now, I haven't actually put together a sample to share with you, but we're going to create together something that I've already designed kind of in my head here. So we are using products from a suite called Modern Christmas. And this is from the online exclusives in my online store. So you can go to stampwithct.stampinup.net and you can hit the menu bar and shop products and go straight to online exclusives. And as you scroll through, you will find Modern Christmas. And I missed it at first. And I have to say, this paper is probably some of my favorite in a long time. This is just really something that I'm drawn to. I love the black and white, and then you also have gold. I'll show you the paper in just a minute. But when you have black and white like this, it is so much fun to put a pop of color with it. So I always love it when we have black and white paper. And black and white Christmas paper is just extraordinary, I think. So we are using the ornamental Christmas stamp set. I'm just using a couple of sentiments out of this. I haven't really broken the stamp set in well just yet, and I haven't put the labels on. So Dale usually likes to do that because he's pretty particular to make sure that everything is straight. So that's generally something I just let him do. He gets joy from that, and I get joy that they're nice and straight and I didn't mess them up. So anyway, he will do that for us, but you'll see me stamp in just a little bit. There is coordinating dies, and I just love these so much. This one we're going to be using, this beautiful ornate star. And that may be the only die that we're using today, but they're just really, really pretty. And so coordinate with the stamp set as well. I did cut out some little stars, and then I don't know where I put them. They may be over here. I don't know that we're going to use them today, but I cut a few out of the gold foil paper just in case we want to add those on kind of as our embellishment. And then I'm also finding that these Peace on Earth kind of nesting label dies, I've just gravitated towards using them a good bit. They're a really nice size. And you'll see that I'm going to use it for the focal image on one of the cards, so I wanted to share that with you too. I've really enjoyed these. This is a great die set, You know, it has the two doves, it has the olive branch, another little sprig, and it's got the envelope, and then these labels. So this is really kind of a die set that you could pick up, even if you're not necessarily interested in the stamp set. And it's a really versatile stamp set. I really like it. But these dies alone are just awesome. We've used them quite a bit. Let's look at this pretty, pretty paper. I just love it. So like I said, you've got the black and white. And it's called Modern Christmas, and it definitely has that vibe. And this is just my jam. I really, really love this. Isn't that pretty? And then let me turn it over and show you the B side. Well, the A side probably, but to me, this is the B side. It's shiny, shiny. And I know the camera is not going to really like all this shininess, but isn't that pretty? And this one is probably one of my favorite of the shiny side. I actually cut a tree out from one of these papers. And then this is the only one that doesn't have the gold foiling on this side. So isn't it just spectacular? I love it. So we are going to start, let me get all my supplies out here, with basic black cardstock. And I went ahead with 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2 this time. That is not what I typically do. So, you know, today we're just going to be different, right? And then I'm going to grab my inside panel and probably go ahead and do my stamping first thing, because I'm just going to stamp Merry Christmas. Let me bring that in. I'm going to ink this up, and like I said, I don't have the label on it, so I probably should have grabbed something to make sure. Yeah, I just kind of stamped off camera there for just a minute. So we'll ink it up good, and I'm going to put my Merry Christmas down here. I don't know why. That's just where I'm going to put it. Yep, that looks pretty good, doesn't it? Isn't that pretty font? So I think that's the only stamping we'll do, because I went ahead and stamped the other greeting earlier. But we will add our inside panel. And like I said, you can add a pop of color with this black and white paper. And that just always looks so striking, but I love that Stampin' Up! Combined the gold with it. And I did cut this inside panel to 5 by 3 3/4, so I'd have a little bit bigger background. I almost forgot that I did that when I went to line up my borders there. So we'll zhuzh it just a little bit. So that way, I like that bigger border to make that sentiment even pop more, I think. I like it. Okay. So now, like I said, I cut out just this one little image that has the trees on it. And when I was playing around earlier, I cut one of these dies and I was stamping and just wasn't happy with it. But rather than throw it away, I decided to go ahead and adhere this to the cardstock to give it a little bit more support to it. So we'll add a little bit of glue, or a lot of bit of glue, right? And we're just going to use that as a backer to give that a little more strength. And I'll pop some dimensionals on it. I don't think I grabbed a take your pick tool, y'all. That was silly. That's okay. I can get the backings off. So you see I've got some stamping sins there, but they're going to be hidden. No worries. Well, I say I can get them off. Come on now. I do like using my take your pick tool, but I'm not sure where it's at right now. We had everything out for the launch party this past weekend. I'm trying to remember my process here. And so I'm slowly getting my craft room back in order. Almost there. So we're going to map this piece with the gold stars. Isn't that pretty? We're just going to map this on a little bit of white. And my thought process there is as we add the trees, look how pretty that will be to kind of pull in the white by having just that small border. And really, this would have worked with this side of the paper as well, I think, to have the kind of fancier trees on the die cut piece and then that background, but we're going to go with it this way. Give my glue just a second to dry. It doesn't scoot on me because I think I did pretty good lining that up. A dot, not a lot. Need that reminder, right? I do get a lot of comments asking if that's enough glue, and it is. Oops. There we go. Get all the borders lined up here too, because I cut this DSP to 5 by 3 3/4 as well. And then my mat just 1/8 of an inch larger. The white just 1/8 of an inch larger. And then we're going to come in with our cute little trees. And I'm trying to decide, I think I'm going to kind of bring this down. I was going to center it up, but I think I'm just going to bring it down right about here. See how that looks from the side. It looks a little bit wonky. And I'm actually not going to put a sentiment on the outside at all. See, that's just using that. Ah, look at that, y'all, the glue. Kinda, gotta give it longer to dry. I need to be more patient, right? I've still got it kind of wonky. You get the idea, though. So just using that label to bring our focal image, and it gives it a little decorative border. I just thought that would be really pretty, and I am super happy with that card. Okay, let's get this dimensional back out of the way. He's not invited to hang out. And we'll bring in the supplies for our next card. And again, I'm using an 11 by 4 1/4 piece of black cardstock, scored at 5 1/2. So to make the 2 cards, I just used 1 sheet of black cardstock. And then I think, yes I did, I grabbed a little scrap of the paper. This card is actually going to be oriented this way. And I did cut this one to 5 1/4 by 4. We're going to add a little strip of this designer series paper to the inside over on the edge. Just to bring a little bit of the outside in. And to use every little scrap of this beautiful paper. I love that we're so good about using our scraps. My friend Mary shared a photo with us the other day in our team group. She organized all of her scraps and sat and made a bunch of cards just with her scraps. Fumble fingers here. So, you know, we paid for that paper. It's gorgeous. And even when it's just a small piece, it can really add a lot to your project. So if you are not in the habit of putting a little strip on the inside, using up your scraps, we highly recommend it. All right, let me see if I can trim this off right quick without cutting my finger. Okay, so it's gonna be oriented like this. We had lots of fun at launch party. I love it when I'm able to get new product in everybody's hands and they get to play with things and just how excited everybody is about a new catalog. It's so much fun. And crafters are really, really fun to hang out with, y'all. You know that. They're the best. Okay, so now this piece of designer series paper, I think I did plan to go ahead and mat it as well with just a small border. I'm trying to decide. I think I do. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I won't do the border. Maybe we'll just add our DSP, the Fa La La. It's so cute. And it's hard to put glue on that beautiful paper, but I love, oh, I just love the Fa La La. Super cute. Let's try to get some even borders on this guy too. Try to get my glue to stay put. Okay, so here is where we're going to bring this gorgeous die cut in, and I did cut it just from gold foil, and I think I'm just going to add a little bit of liquid glue here, or a lot of it, and I'm just going to add this over to the side. Try to get my positioning where I want it. We'll give that a second to dry. And then I did go ahead and stamp earlier, and the stamp says be joyful, and so I think that goes well with Fa La La, doesn't it? We'll put just a couple of dimensionals on this little circle, and of course I used my small stylish shapes. This may be the second one up in the stylish shapes. I love those dies so much. And we're just going to pop it right in the center of this gorgeous star. What do y'all think? Isn't that pretty? And then to have that little strip of DSP on the inside too. Looks like that slipped a little bit. I'll fix it. So those are my projects for you today, friends. I hope you like them. And if you had not noticed the Modern Christmas suite, I hope you'll hop over to the online store and take a look. In the suite, there's also some gold rings that you can use. I didn't purchase those, but I do have just a little bit of the twine left. There's a black twine that has gold twisted with it, and also a white twine that has gold twisted with it. It's very pretty. We used most of mine up on Saturday at the lunch party, making one of the make and takes, but I don't fear. I have another package of it coming. Should have a Stampin' Up! Order arrive tomorrow. So let me know what you think. If you have a favorite, if you love black and white with a pop of color, I really do. That's just what I like. Okay, let me move these. I do have just a couple of Happy Mail for you to take a look at. This first one came from my sweet friend Mary, and I'm going to bring this closer so hopefully you can see all the beautiful texture that is in this frame. So she actually cut this image out and then ran the frame through an embossing folder. Isn't that a fabulous idea? And this card is amazing, just really, really pretty. And of course she had stamping on the envelope. I love that Mary just takes it to the next level. She always does such beautiful work. So thank you, Mary. This was so, so sweet. And then I also have an absolutely stunning card from my amazing friend Debbie that she sent to me and Dale, a little sympathy card. And it's very, very pretty, a bookbinder. Love the paper. You know, and it's got a beautiful message on the inside too. So thank you, Debbie. This is just so, so pretty. And that was so sweet of you. Okay, I think that's it for today, you guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being part of our crafting community. And I will talk to you soon.